Hi, welcome back to the channel. So it's been a few months since I decided to play footsie with hate speech on the internet. Since the American system loosened up, and all these American companies loosened up on their persecution of speech and wrongthink. So I've been having a jolly wee time. But did you know they're trying to get around the liberalisation of speech in the UK and Europe by implementing regional restrictions, content creator specific to where you are. So like in the future you might have to upload through a VPN. Like you might have to change your VPN to America and then upload for there, or the UK government can actually come after you for like producing it and producing your wrongthink and you're challenging ideas in the wrong country under their jurisdiction. Isn't that funny? Isn't that interesting? Yeah. But here I am, been trumpeting away just because of the nature of some of the content and unrestricted opinion that I've given probably in the early days of making the stuff, where I would attack people's inalienable characteristics and be utterly scathing. It's an artist's impression. Like a photograph is the least artist impression of a scene, for example. It's just a snapshot, boom, but there's nothing in it. There's no art in it. So just a transcript, a normal scene, a normal interaction is nothing. It's nothing. It takes a soft, squishy, unique processor to observe it, be a part of it, and then to retell it and put their twist on it. And that is an inalienable characteristic of a person. So to persecute that and to say that that's evil or wrong is oppressive. So there you go. And that sounds like radical left talk, where like a criminal isn't a criminal because they can't help being a criminal. But when it comes to interpretation of events, then that's just speech. It's like nobody's getting hurt. You're just throwing a nuance out there. You're just throwing a take. It would be disingenuous to draw a false comparison between the two things, and that's what like an arguer against what I'm saying would be like. Well, actually you're drawing a false equivalent, and that makes you a disingenuous arguer. So there. So let's talk about what's wrong with Kier Starmer. He's hanging on. He's hanging on by a thread. And what you got here is his speeches are all, he's like a radical fembot, doing his wee bird hands, and I hope we still have hope. You know what he has hope for? He has hope that the general population deep down believe that criminals aren't criminals, that replacement migration is great, and we need to all get behind it. He hopes that we all start to understand that men are actually women. That's what he has hope for. That's how utterly ideologically captured he is. Like, I refuse to believe. He has hope for us non-believers. Isn't that the most beautiful and kind thing that he has? Like, he has hope that we accept his crack-it version and non-reality, and he has hope that because he is completely convinced of his rightness, his goodness, his virtue. His virtue is most holy, and he has hope that the country isn't just populated by a bunch of rampaging racist chuds, because that's what he thinks. That's why they would blame the right wing for everything and call everything a Nazi and call everything a genocide, because that's what they actually think he is. He is normal people that live in reality. They think we are extremists, and he's incapable of realising that he's the one with a warped reality. And he's not alone. There are people that share his warped reality in degrees of it. But if you accept radical feminism, then that's a groupthink. So then I can assume that you accept a lot of other things, like meritocracy is bad, like the rights of criminals to crime surpasses the rights of a native population not to be preyed upon. That we need to sacrifice working class lassies who have slipped through the cracks of the system to the almighty immigration, replacement immigration. And that's why they would two-tier you. They would two-tier you and blame you for noticing and shut you down. And then there'd be like OnlyFans tramps throwing milkshakes on you for telling the truth or for pointing it out, and you'd be labelled a far right, a rabble, this rowdy rabble of right-wing rebels. It's the virtue signalling is most holy, and it stands above actual virtue, because if you're actually virtuous, you have to get angry. If you're actually virtuous, you have to stand up to what's wrong. And that's the difference, isn't it, between virtue and virtue signal, is that they just curl up, they'll capitulate, they capitulate to anything, and that's just how they keep power. That's how they get power. They just pander to everybody by placating everybody. They placate nobody, but they get their votes, and then they run in a system that doesn't believe in meritocracy. So why do you think in the last 15 years we've had 15 prime ministers? Could it be because for the last 20 years we've been running a system that doesn't believe in the best man for the job? No, we've got to overlook their glaring character flaws, their open idiocy, their dangerously low and critical thinking skills. We've got to overlook all that, because they deserve a chance. And what we have here now is the result of giving the wrong people every chance. This is the result of forgiving people. It's like a twisting of forgiveness and empathy. It's like they've took these virtues that make us strong, these virtues at the core of our Western Germanic philosophy. It's our fault for provoking the left. It's our fault that trans people are getting angry and lashing out because we're not accepting that men are actually women. Like that's right-wing chud's fault, obviously. No, I'm so sorry. I can't accept the lie. If you accept that lie, then you accept nothing's beneath you. Like a dominant religious fascism is actually a good thing. Like they used to champion women. The left did. They used to be all about the women, but then they pushed it into non-reality. And then they threw a bunch of men in dresses into sports and little girls' bathrooms. And that's what happens when an ideal trumps reality. And they're about to find out in a very crashing way that the Kier Starmer and these loony liberal elites, they're in a minority, and yeah, a few of them will not change the way they think. A few of them are incapable. They're completely captured, like Kier Starmer's audience captured, because everybody that believed in things that he said, he now has to stand by them or he loses them. So all the people are like, yay, men or women, yay, two-tier, yay, grooming gangs. Like, if he turns against them, he's done. And you can see it that idiot Hassan Piker on Twitch. You can see it. You can see in iDubbbz. You can see the result of complete audience capture in them. Yeah, and they wither the cocoon in their little radical cell. And that's what Mr. Starmer's done. And what we're talking about is an individual that's so ideologically captured that he's gonna take the whole party down with him. And I don't really care, because what even is the Labour Party anymore? To accept the Labour Party, you have to accept everything that's wrong. So I hope he hangs on, and then I hope we get an election early, and then I hope the real grown-ups get in charge, and we can follow America. We can follow America back to reality. Anyway, there's my little uplifting current affairs yabber yabber. I'm only doing this because I don't want to do the plastering. Peace out!